OKRs are a great way to shape your organization and its culture, and the OKRs you choose are an embodiment of those priorities and the things that you want to change. We often hear from organizations using OKRs to help their teams focus, align, and commit to the priorities that matter, as well as tracking their progress towards them. But more recently, we've heard questions around how can we use OKRs to create a more just and equitable workplace? Many organizations are looking within to address systemic inequality, and OKRs can absolutely be a tool to making sure you're on the path to addressing those issues. As we pursue OKRs for this more noble purpose, it's worth reminding that OKRs can actually perpetuate bad habits and practices from the status quo. This can happen consciously or quite often unconsciously because the goals that we're setting are ones that fit the culture of our organization today. That's why we've been recently asking more teams to include something called an equity pause before locking in their OKRs. I learned about this from the team at the Creative Reaction Lab, and it comes from the 228 Accelerator and a framework that they developed called Equity Meets Design. There's a misconception that OKRs need to be created urgently. Just because OKRs are on a cadence doesn't mean you have to rush the process. Moving with urgency has an unfortunate side effect of not listening sometimes to new viewpoints or alternate viewpoints, and moving very quickly sometimes doesn't create the time or space to hear those voices. This equity pause gives us a moment to do that before we lock in our company and team toward a set of OKRs that we're going to commit to for the quarter ahead. This little bit of added time adds so much to your OKRs. The team at 228 says it best: a strategic equity pause stops the clock to reflect on our language, our ideas, and our hunches in the context of a discourse of transformation. OKRs may only take up a page, but they speak volumes about you and your organization and its priorities. So as we think about what's important and how we're orienting our efforts, let's try to improve ourselves and our organizations along the way. Because it's going to take all of us with our purposeful effort to root out systemic inequality.